All right, here we are at week 5. You can see they've gotten exponentially bigger to where they barely fit in this little place now. This week was a tough week. It was week 4, and if you take a close look at these chicks, you can see some of them are molting still. You can look at that one on his back there, and they're getting after each other pretty good. Some of them are pecking each other. I had to take 3 out because they were attacking one another and causing themselves to bleed. So whenever you got chicks that are molting, you got to watch them real close, especially when there's a bunch of them like this. But I think I got all the ones that were actually pecking themselves and hurt and causing themselves to bleed. But they can actually, you know, really get themselves infected or hurt themselves really bad. And then that pecking is a result of stress. Oh look, there's one right there that's got some, see, he's kind of bleeding a little bit there on his back. I'll probably have to remove him just before anything gets out of hand. But it's just, they're in that 4-week stage there where they just turned 5 weeks today, but they're in that phase where they're just finally finishing off all their little baby chick fluff, and they're growing full-time feathers. And along with that, they need more protein, so it's getting real competitive in here. Those are eggshells I put in here so that, that's just calcium of course, but I'll probably crunch them up after this video so they can actually digest them a little better or put them in their system a little better. But I'm just trying to help them along with anything I can. A lot of people don't realize that feathers are all protein. So when these birds are in this little baby molt like this, they really need a lot of protein. So I'm trying to help them out. If I go fishing later today, and because it's a real nice day here today, but if I go fishing, I'll probably give them any leftovers I've got. And I've kind of considered doing whatever I can, like maybe giving them some canned fish or something, just to help them along. But I don't go to town enough to just go up there right now and grab them something. I'll probably go to town tomorrow for some other stuff. Just as far as this project goes, I'm not going to be going to any grocery stores, but I may stop by the feed store. But anyway, they're still doing pretty well. If I haven't mentioned it, I lost 3 this week. So we should be sitting at 93 chicks, I believe is what we have, 93 right now. And what happened is when I moved them into this, it was actually right after I made last week's video, which if you haven't seen last week's video of the chicks, and actually I have a whole list of them from the time they were a week old till now. So I'll put those in the comment section. Actually, not in the comment section. I'll put those below in the description section. And then y'all can check off all those videos of the previous ones. But when I moved them in here last week, they were, you know, I guess they were a little bit nervous about being in here because it was a new place. But they actually piled up in that corner in a big ball, and 90 chicks piled on top of each other in a giant ball. The ones on the bottom are going to suffocate. And mainly you just have to watch that when they're growing up so that they don't get too cold. But it wasn't even cold that night, so I think they just got a little bit nervous about being in this wide open space, which is why I put this tarp and stuff all over it. It actually is not hot today. It hasn't been hot all week. I mean, it hasn't been cold all week, and it's not cold right now, so they don't really need the heat, but they need this kind of this visual blocker that these tarps provide so that they don't feel like they're out in the open and they feel like they have kind of some safety where they're at. So that's the only reason that they don't have an open space just yet. And there's a couple of them that still get out and escape, but for the most part, most of them like to be in here, and they like to be sheltered, sort of. So they're going to outgrow this cage pretty quick, this little mobile cage. I'll have the wheels on it soon. I'll probably show you that next week. But they're going to outgrow this really quick. They're growing really fast. What I'll do is I'll take that little super light chicken tractor that I built. I made a video of that too. If you want to see it, I'll put it in the description below. But that little super light chicken tractor I built, I'll take half of these and put them in there, and then I'll leave the other half in here for a while. But right now, the biggest threat is not the space issue. The biggest threat is, of course, aerial predators and bobcats. That's what I've got out here. And coyotes, of course. So even though it's not really great for them to be just cooped up in here real tight, I'd like to be letting them out in the day and then let them back in at night. They're just not mature enough to be able to get away and understand the value of avoiding hawks at this time. So for now, I'm going to keep them in here until they can totally learn that there's a lot of predators out there and they've got to watch out for themselves. So anyway, I hope this was informative a little bit for you. You know, I went over molting a little bit. It's just something that all chicks go through, and whenever they're doing it, you just have to watch them real close to make sure they don't hurt each other. And if you want to see the progress from basically from birth of these chicks all the way up till now, just click on all those videos I'm gonna put the link to in the description as soon as I get to McDonald's where I can use the Wi-Fi. But I'll make another one next week and we'll see where we're at. And y'all have a good day.